So in this video, I'm just going to show you guys a couple of shoots that I had that took place over a span of like a week. And these are relatively smaller shoots, and I didn't really feel the need to make a video out of each one. So I'm just kind of combining a bunch of things together. So for this first job, I was actually hired on as a dedicated audio for a corporate shoot. And I typically don't advertise that I do specific dedicated audio, but I know most of the shoots that I do are more one-man band corporate jobs, and that's just part of the package is I have to run my own audio. But I always wish I could do a little bit more fine-tuning on the audio. I know sometimes it's just straight in the camera just because I don't have the flexibility to really take the time to make the audio sound better. It's just I'm worrying about cameras and lighting, teleprompter, so it gets a little overwhelming sometimes. But I really do enjoy being able to set up audio and mix it and make sure everything sounds perfect. So in the future, I might start advertising that I do dedicated audio, and I'm looking into building out a better kit as well. Right now, I'm looking into the Deity SIDIO system and trying to figure out what I would actually want in my audio kit if money really wasn't an issue and I could just buy whatever I wanted. Obviously, I can't, so I have to really be strategic about what's going to go inside my new upgraded kit and just kind of start saving up money for that. This was a very simple shoot. I was hired on from a local production company based here in Little Rock. I'll go ahead and put their information in the description below. But I was hired to essentially just mic up. Originally, it was going to be 5 people, but as the day progressed, it went down to only 3. So that's a lot easier for me, only having to worry about 3 microphones and 3 channels of wireless. And the nature of the shoot was a 90-minute discussion, essentially. And there wasn't going to be a whole lot of stop-starts unless it was something super crucial like a microphone disconnected and a camera died or something like that. That was going to be the only way we could stop. So I wanted to make sure audio was just set and I had backups and didn't have to worry about anything, and we could roll for the full hour and a half. So I decided to double mic each person. I went with the Tentacle Syncs for the local recording, and then I went with the Pico mics for my wireless transmission. I also set up a boom mic as worst case scenario in case everything else didn't work, then we could at least make something happen with the boom. This was a simple shoot. Once they were talking, I was just monitoring levels and making sure nothing was scratching or anything like that, and we were getting clean audio. So these are my new favorite light stands. They're made by Shape, and it's the DOP series. And a few things I like about these. Number one, they have the mounting bracket. Just the standard bracket, how you would mount like a combo stand. Another thing I like about them, when they're fully collapsed, you can stand them up. Now, I obviously wouldn't put a light or anything on here, but you can definitely just need to balance them for a minute. If you're lining up a bunch of stands, you can stand them up like that. And I like these big handles. It makes it so you can really crank them down. This one goes up pretty high, about 12 feet, and which is all I would need. There's 3 levels. It does have a leveling leg here, so if you need to level, if you're on uneven ground. And then it also has square stock instead of the traditional light stands that have more of like a circular stock. This feels more like a combo stand, so it's real sturdy. I know sometimes I prefer the square if you're trying to if you have to mount accessories or Cardellini's or something on here. It works a little bit better with square in my opinion than circle. So yeah, that's just a couple of things that I like about it. There's a lot of features that they include. So these are Obviously air cushioned as well. There is some space in between each one so you don't pinch your finger. And they did include some rubberized feet. You can remove those. And then there are cable clips as well. So if you need to clip down some cables, there's 2 of them that are included. So yeah, these are really nice, especially for the price point. So just when you think you maxed out your capacity on your little grip truck here, you can add a cargo rack and a little storage unit like that. Just when you think you maxed out capacity on your grip truck, you can add a little luggage container and really maximize your space. This is the ride for the next few days. Plenty of space in the rental car. Got all the bags packed. Well, that's cool. Welcome to Florida. So I made it to Orlando. Actually, I arrived here in Orlando yesterday, and due to weather, there was like a major delays at the airport. Baggage claim was closed, ticketing was closed, so the airport was a nightmare. But luckily, David Moorfield lives real close to the airport, and I hit him up and asked him if he wanted to grab some lunch while I was here. So I went to go grab lunch with him. I didn't even grab my bags. I just went straight to get a rental car, and I grabbed lunch with him, and we just talked about business and life and that sort of thing, and it was actually really good. Thanks, David, for meeting me out for lunch. So after I had lunch with David, I actually went straight back to the airport to pick up my bags. By that time, weather had cleared and baggage claim was open. So I went to go grab my bags, and then I came back, checked into the hotel, and then got a little bit of editing work done and answered some emails. And I actually received an email late last night saying that they needed to postpone some of the stuff we were going to shoot this morning. And of course, they want to cram it all in later. So we have to try to figure out how we're going to capture everything later. It was actually the director missed his flight yesterday, so he had to fly in this morning. So we had to postpone production this morning, and we're going to just try and squeeze everything in later today. So I actually have a free morning. I don't have to be at location till about 1 or 2 p.m. I'm still trying to figure out details of when the director is going to come in. I'm actually going to just stay at the hotel and get a little bit of work done. I would, if this was like a city or a state that I haven't really explored, I might be a little bit more tempted to be adventurous and go out. But I've been to Florida and specifically Orlando probably 100 times between work and family vacations and that sort of thing. So I felt like I've seen everything I need to see here. So I'm just going to put my head down, get some work done, and then get ready for the shoot later today. Definitely not the best view, but not the worst view that I've had. At least I can see some clouds. That's nice. So I don't know if you guys do the same thing, but my method when I travel for a shoot is obviously I have cameras, lighting, audio, but a lot of that stuff is checked, and I like to keep a backup camera and backup audio batteries inside my carry-on just in case, you know, my bags don't make it. So that way I have at least something to make the shoot work. I have a A7 IV with a wide lens, audio, batteries, media, stuff like that. Just, you know, it's not going to be fancy. I'm not going to have lights. We'll have to rely on natural daylight, mostly handheld if I can't get a hold of a tripod. So that's kind of this is my backup bag. And then, you know, obviously if I'm on the shoot, I'll still use the A7 IV just for like photos and BTS and that sort of thing. So it's not a complete wash bringing all this stuff. It still gets used. And then I have backup audio just in case something else happens. So this is just a backup, just in case my bags don't make it. I like to have a plan B. So I had an NDA on this last project in Orlando, so unfortunately I can't show any behind the scenes or any of the footage or anything like that. So kind of a bust, but it is what it is. So after I wrapped the Orlando shoot, I actually had to jump on an early flight Saturday morning so I could get back in time for another shoot that I had Saturday afternoon, which was with another local creative agency here in Little Rock. I'll go ahead and link their information in the description below. So for this shoot, it was just event coverage, B-roll for a concert that was happening here in Little Rock. They just wanted to capture the night and put together a couple little promotional pieces for social media and whatnot. So I was just hired as a camera operator with my Sony FX5, and I also had my Tamron 35-150 just to get a variety of different moments and different shots happening throughout the night of each artist. This was a really laid-back shoot, so it wasn't anything too crazy, just a lot of running around grabbing cool shots, so I was fine with that. And after traveling all morning from Orlando to Little Rock, I was pretty exhausted. We actually ended up wrapping this shoot at about 11 p.m., so it was a super long day for me, and I was ready just to be home and be with my family and just not have to worry about work anymore. So yeah, that's a wrap on this vlog. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.